Obviously, there is nothing more important this year for the Democrats and democracy itself than winning the presidency. The next best thing, the next most important thing is the United States Senate. I, for one, don't believe Donald Trump is going to win the presidential election, but if you're one of the millions who is worried that he will, you should find ways to help elect Democrats to the United States Senate. The United States Senate should be campaign objective number 2, because if Democrats control the United States Senate, they can stop every single thing that Donald Trump tries to do legislatively. They can stop every single thing, every presidential appointment Donald Trump makes that requires Senate confirmation, every one of them. So, no, with Democrats in control of the Senate, Donald Trump will not have an attorney general in charge of helping Donald Trump get away with crimes and commit more crimes. With Democrats in control of the Senate, Donald Trump will not have a Secretary of Defense who is willing to violate the law controlling the use of American troops within the United States. With Democrats in control of the Senate, Donald Trump will not be able to confirm a single federal judge who would take away your rights, not one. The Senate is more important than the House because it controls the confirmation process. And so tonight, with every other news broadcast focused almost entirely on the 2 names that will be on the top of the presidential ballot in November, this program will focus on the second most important names you will see on your ballot. Candidates for United States Senate. We begin tonight with the winner of the biggest Senate campaign in the country last night in the biggest state. In a real democracy, if a Dakota gets 2 senators, then California would get at least 40 senators. California's population is 40 times larger than the population of each Dakota. But because democracy was not the first principle in the design of the United States Senate or the presidency, the people of California are stuck with only 2 senators, and the presidency is winnable by the candidate who gets the least votes because the Electoral College formula is based on the same anti-democratic formula that has given us 2 senators per state. For most California voters that I know, it has never been more painful to be stuck with only 2 senators as it is tonight. And that is because in California, in the Senate campaign, there were 3 Democratic candidates running for Senate against each other for the same Senate seat, and Democrats had to choose. The choice was difficult and the choice was confusing. Many Democratic voters believed that the candidates who lost the Senate race, the Democrats, would remain in the House of Representatives. Those voters didn't realize that other candidates were on the ballot yesterday for the House seats currently occupied by Adam Schiff, Katie Porter, and Barbara Lee. Each of those candidates made the all-or-nothing decision to go for the Senate, knowing that they could not legally at the same time run to keep their House of Representatives seats just in case. Each of those Democratic candidates would have won this race if the other 2 were not in the race. The last polls before the election showed Adam Schiff in first place, with Republican Steve Garvey, a former baseball player for the LA Dodgers, who's never held elective office, in second place, Katie Porter in third place, and Barbara Lee in fourth place. That's what the polls show. Almost every Democrat that I talked to about this wanted to see the Democrats win first and second place, because the top 2 candidates then face off against each other in November, and there would be no worries because a Democrat would absolutely win. I knew some voters who had their minds made up easily for Adam Schiff, Katie Porter, or Barbara Lee. My daughter loves Katie Porter, and so it was an easy decision for her. And of course, most Democrats always want to see Republican candidates crushed at the ballot box in California. They didn't want to see Steve Garvey in that top 2, but that's not what happened. Adam Schiff, who had Speaker Nancy Pelosi's endorsement, and by far the most campaign money, came in first, and Steve Garvey, the Republican, came in second. And so it will be Adam Schiff versus Steve Garvey in November, which means, in reality, tonight, the campaign is over.